They like having me here. I've been here once. So they're either polite or lying, and I'm banking on both. But yeah, I bombed a test yesterday. Who would have thought a Hampshire student bombing a test? But I bombed one yesterday, and I've been trying to figure out ways. Technically, I bombed it last week. One yesterday, I did well on it because I've been trying to figure out how to do better on tests. And I read online that if you do the same thing when you study, when you take the test, you'll do better, right? People have heard that? Like if you chew the same flavor of gum, or if you sit in the same posture, and I was like, all right, I got this. So I sat down each night when I would study, and I paid real careful attention to what I was doing. And I was like, all right, I can emulate that. So yesterday, I went in for a trig test, and I fucking nailed it. I also got kicked out of the class for masturbating. But in my defense, I came prepared. Thank you for the poor people in the back who got that in the ground. I'm sorry. I was going to do a real set today. I was going to do an actual routine. I had the shittiest fucking weekend. It was going to be normal. I was going to go down to New York City with my girlfriend, which I did. But she called me on Friday. I was looking at this new Tumblr called handynudes.com, or .tumblr, which is a Tumblr for Hampshire students that post naked pictures of their body for body positivity. And I was looking through it, looking at all the dudes' abs and not feeling so positive about my body. But I got a call from my girlfriend, and I pick it up, and I hear, hey honey, I love you, how are you doing? I'm so happy you're going to be coming down to visit. By the way, we might have herpes. Yeah, that's not a good time to laugh. But my friend, we might have herpes. We were pregnant with weird festering sores. So obviously, I kind of lose my shit a little bit, and I run into the bathroom and I grab my camera, not like my phone, like my weird giant I'm a tourist camera, and I'm zooming in, trying to take pictures of every angle of my junk, right? And I run back out and I'm pouring through them as quickly as I can, looking for any symptom. For any of you who know herpes, the symptoms don't show up unless you're having an outbreak. So I learned nothing, except that through a 40 times magnification lens, looking at your own dick is a great way to build body positivity. But I rallied, and I made it down to New York, and I saw her, and we've been dating for long enough that we're hardwired to look at each other and be like, I like you. I'm mad as hell at you, but I like you. So we tried to sort of drown the feelings in shopping. And we went out, and she tried on a bunch of things, but it wasn't really working because I kept looking at her and going, what do you get for the woman who's caught everything? She was less keen on that. So we tried to go down to a play. She has this theater she used to work at, and she said there was a new comedy playing called Negative is Positive, which I assumed to be about British mathematicians. The first indication that this theater was going to be kind of shitty was when I walked in and there was a sign that said handicapped bathrooms downstairs. Yeah, think about that for a second. That's a really dirty trick. I wish I was making that up. That's a real fucking sign, handicapped bathrooms downstairs. Really? Alright. And I started looking around, and it was one of those artsy New York theaters with exposed piping and weird tribal paintings on the walls. And I sat down to the play and I was like, oh no. Negative is positive. This isn't going to be about British mathematicians. And I was right. And so we got to watch an hour and a half of a couple scream at each other about who gave who AIDS. And then they got a divorce. It also wasn't a comedy, as I found out. So at this point, my girlfriend and I were sort of exchanging looks, and we decided to go drown our sorrows some more in about $80 worth of desserts from a small cafe down the street. I don't know if any of you have ever done that, 15 different cakes, and you know you're not going to finish them, but you're like, fuck it, anything is better than this. And one of my buddies from high school came down and joined us. We were sort of sitting there, and I'm trying to process my feelings and thoughts, and all my past relationships, all the weird mistakes I made, the condoms I didn't use, the exes I have. And I look over at my girlfriend, I have this epiphany. I look at her and I go, you're my karma. And she goes, why is that? And before I can deliver my perfect poetic response, Mike fucking opens his mouth and goes, because karma's a bitch. I got to sleep on the couch, which was fun. So the next morning I tried to smooth things over, I tried to make amends. I took her out to Central Park and I read poetry to her. Really flowery stuff, your lips are like roses, that sort of thing. And this dude walking past us without breaking stride looks at me, dead in the eye, and just goes, faggot. And I was like, yep, you caught me. trying to sneak my penis into that vagina. Super gay. Like, but it's a thing I grew up with, right? People thought I was gay. People called me a faggot all the time growing up and in high school, like my parents. And so, like I got used to it. I didn't like. There's no reason to defend yourself against that because it's not really an attack. There's nothing wrong with that. There's only one person in the world who I have to convince I'm not gay, and that's my girlfriend. And frankly, if I'm using words, I've lost that battle. Like, if there's a debate, I've already lost. So anyways, we drove to the clinic for her to get tested. Everything turned out fine. But while I was sitting there in the clinic with her, I started playing Pokemon on my little like game device because I'm a huge nerd. Yeah, how's that for a transition? And I noticed something, which is that STDs are a lot like Pokemon. And for those of you who think I'm going to end with the gotta catch 'em all joke, fuck all of you. It's not, literally, they're exactly, think about it. You can trade them with your friends. They evolve. A lot of people get their first one from a professor. And if you really think about it, it's a little weird for a 10-year-old to have one. That's all I've got. Thank you guys. Good night.